For anyone questioning the Caitlin Clark effect, we now have people wanting to watch golf because of her. We saw the kind of offer that Ice Cube made to Caitlin to play in the Big Three. That is $5 million to play 3 months.
Everyone believes they are familiar with the Caitlin Clark tale. Shattering records, becoming a rookie sensation, and attracting WNBA fans. However, the reality is far more bizarre than what the headlines portray. A startling $10 million obtained off the court is the first step. The WNBA is baffled by her subtle power play and salary, which turn her into a media goldmine.
Than the NBA. So I was like, oh, what's she gonna get paid? Because finally, you know, you can get a real paycheck. And then I saw it and I was like, this can't be right. Because this is what it is. In the first year, Caitlin Clark will earn $76,535.
Caitlin Clark recently demonstrated that earning millions of dollars doesn't require you to play on the court all day. This novice is cashing six-figure checks only to show up and talk, while others are sweating through their 9 to 5. For her to grace their stages, brands are paying more than the cost of a house to fly her across the nation. In contrast, the WNBA itself appears to be throwing her peanuts. She has turned her off-court persona into a financial empire, accumulating an astounding $10 million. Indeed, it's exciting to watch the player for whom everyone feels terrible now have more zeros in her bank account than some of the NBA's more seasoned pros. But wait, there's much more to this tale.
So happy for her to get the $28 million.
In addition to making a ton of money, Caitlin Clark is radically altering the sports marketing industry. She has skillfully captured it all, using it to quiet her critics and competitors as the WNBA battles with visibility, platform, and influence. Hold on tight because, to be honest, not everyone is pleased with the way Caitlin Clark transformed the game. Caitlin Clark is more valuable than practically every professional basketball player in the world when it comes to marketing. Her ability to change the entire plot is equally as brilliant as her skill at the game. She sees the WNBA as a strategic starting point for unmatched visibility rather than the final aim. Millions of people watch her every action, and the attention she receives is far more valuable than a paycheck on game day.
Last WNBA playoff game had over 2.6 million viewers, and now we are seeing the ratings dip under 1 million.
This is when things start to get really wild, though. While some athletes concentrate on accumulating points, Caitlin is developing a brand that makes money from each and every engagement. She charges $100,000 for a half-hour virtual presentation, and her fees for live events may easily double or quadruple that amount. This year, she has earned at least $600,000 simply for attending and conversing. That isn't a job. Because she is captivating, genuine, and a living example, she is making money and businesses are lining up. People believe her rather than only listening to her. Additionally, she has endorsement deals comparable to those of industry titans like State Farm, Wilson, and Nike. According to reports, Nike signed her for millions of dollars without even requiring a pitch. Nobody needs to be persuaded of Caitlin Clark's value. Her name alone does the heavy lifting. State Farm probably spent their entire advertising budget just to put her in one of their oddball commercials. Wilson, the legendary basketball brand, essentially handed her a blank check, and each deal solidifies her status as a global phenomenon in addition to being a player. What follows defies all logic. Caitlin even had the gall to turn down offers from a brand new women's basketball league that offered her a $1 million salary and equity. While most people would have signed on the dotted line right away, Caitlin is playing chess, not checkers. Although a quick payday might be alluring, the WNBA gives her something far more valuable: respectability and a platform. Her decision to stay is a wise, well-thought-out risk that is already yielding profits. Not to be overlooked is her social media presence. It is a beast unto itself. Every move she makes is followed by millions, and every post is a chance to make money. She is more skilled than the majority of seasoned influencers in affiliate marketing and paid content. Caitlin Clark's genius is evident in the way she uses her enormous fan base to make money with each like, remark, and share.
Has said that the league is going to lose about $50 million. Is there a scenario that you will try to raise more money right now?
Probably not. We probably don't need to raise capital like we did back in when I came in 2020.
This is the section that will wow you. Caitlin Clark is just getting started and hasn't even started to reach her greatest potential. Nevertheless, she is already reinventing what it means to be a contemporary athlete. Her tale goes beyond basketball. It all comes down to strategy, vision, and an unyielding will to achieve. Few people have the same level of attention on the broad picture as she does. Both on the court and in the fields of branding and marketing, Caitlin Clark has quickly established herself as a household figure. She is more than just an athlete at the young age of 22. This woman is a walking, talking, money-making machine. Businesses are prepared to pay enormous amounts for her services. And because Caitlin Clark has mastered the art of making money off of her popularity in ways that most seasoned pros can only imagine, 30 minutes of her means 6 figures. It's more important to consider the impact her presence has than merely what she says. The news sites picked up the story the following day, the social media explosions, and the buzz in the room. Brands are unable to reproduce that level of organic effect, regardless of the size of their marketing staff.
It's player salaries. People wonder, why are NBA player salaries 100 times higher than WNBA salaries? Because the TV money was 100 times higher in the NBA than it was.
Everything you believe to be true is going to change. Clark is not yet done. Even well-known legends would be jealous of the contracts she's signing. Working with Wilson to produce a trademark basketball collection was one of her most important decisions. Just one other player, Michael Jordan, had done it before. Give that some thought. By being the first female basketball player to win such a contract, Clark is dispelling myths and demonstrating that her brand is a powerful force rather than merely a passing fad. Like a good neighbor, she has also teamed with State Farm, earning millions of dollars for an arrangement that places her in commercials with their catchy jingle. Just one contract confirms Caitlin Clark's position as a major force in marketing. As it happens, State Farm is totally dedicated to the phenomenon and isn't merely experimenting.
Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence.
Her 8-year Nike contract, which is reputedly worth $28 million, is incredible for a rookie, though. That being said, there is a significant catch. Although the offer appears to be huge, it may not be as great as it sounds because there isn't a trademark shoe included. For athletes of her caliber, trademark shoes like those of Michael Jordan or Stephen Curry, whose brands are multi-billion-dollar empires based solely on sneaker sales, are the main source of income. Even while Clark seems to have made a huge deal, it could not be as significant as what she's leaving on the table in the absence of her own recognizable shoes. Without a certain, every child who looks up to her and every admirer would purchase a pair. It's puzzling that Nike hasn't taken use of this. No goods, no commercials, no special ads, and most importantly, no signature shoes. They seem to be sitting on a gold mine, but aren't willing to excavate. If Clark wore her own brand new branded sneakers when she took the court during the WNBA playoffs, just think of the craze.
Like, whatever really happens with Caitlin Clark, I would say her big thing is to be ready for the WNBA season. And people are like, why? She's only making $70,000 in the WNBA. What is the point of her worrying about that league rather than trying to push for other leagues and other ways of making more money? Because the WNBA is what's getting the most out.
Having those shoes available for purchase right after the game would result in an extraordinary spike in sales as every basketball fan, young and old, would beg for a piece of Caitlin Clark's magic. However, Nike seems to be taking its time, so even though Clark's deal is impressive, it doesn't seem to have that important X element. Because of her widespread appeal, experts concur that she is more marketable than many seasoned pros. Every match she participates in draws millions of viewers. Brands usually invest billions of dollars to get this kind of attention. The depressing reality is that the longer Nike waits, the more momentum they risk losing. Considering Clark's celebrity power is at its peak right now, every day without a signature shoe is a lost chance. The WNBA playoffs offer the ideal opportunity to introduce her brand, but if Nike doesn't move quickly, they risk losing a lot of money and attention. Clark's success stems from more than just her skill on the court. Additionally, she has completely revamped the athlete branding playbook.
Also been reported that Unrivaled 3-on-3 League offered Caitlin Clark significant equity in the league and a salary that is over $1 million. So this is the first time that we've heard of any money being thrown at her. We've heard that it would be a major deal. It would be a similar setup as to what
She has already amassed a multi-million-dollar fortune, but she still has a lot of unrealized potential. For Caitlin Clark, the game isn't simply taking place on the court when she employs the proper techniques. In the business sector, she is also winning handily. Even if Nike is lagging behind, the rest of the sports marketing sector is closely observing her every move and making extensive notes about how she is changing the game. For example, she might easily become a billion-dollar brand herself if she finally released that distinctive shoe. Without a question, Clark will transform the game with his future endeavors. Caitlin Clark's strategy offers a valuable lesson in long-term planning. She is not looking for short-term success or celebrity. Rather, she is painstakingly creating something that will last long after she stops performing. The best aspect is that she is doing everything according to her own terms. One thing is quite evident: whether she's making incredible three-pointers on the court or arranging multi-million-dollar transactions off of it. For elite talent, Caitlin Clark is unstoppable.
Is for top talent.
So a lot of people are saying, oh, why is Caitlin Clark like, she should play in Unrivaled, she's making like $1 million. She should play in X, Y, and Z league, she should make some money doing that, or, you know, Caitlin Clark can do X.
Not a handout. This entire period of WNBA labor relations will be characterized by that phrase. Because in reality, Caitlin Clark, Ozza Wilson, and the other celebrities are saying that you are not allowed to use our names, our brands, or our celebrity as weapons in a conflict that we did not consent to. And it is a perfectly valid stance. Consider it from their point of view. You work hard in college, develop your brand over years, and become well-known. Then some players you hardly know decide to form a rival league, expecting you to jeopardize your WNBA career and your connection with the league you've always wanted to play in order to give them power in talks that serve their commercial interests. That is exploitation, not solidarity. The best players just drew a line in the sand. What comes next is the question today. Does the Players Association still have any power? Without the unparalleled threat, are they able to negotiate a respectable CBA? Or did they simply misplace their soul card? When the owners discover they are in complete control, what do you think happens? This CBA discussion is going to get messy, so please share your thoughts here.